Alright, today we're going to be doing a fuel pump replacement on a 2003 Ford Ranger. Now before you do the fuel pump replacement, you need to make sure that the fuel cutoff switch, Ford's very common for this. This one is located on the passenger side, near towards the rear of the floorboard where your feet would be sitting, kind of under the blower motor area. Again, you need to make sure that that's not actuated. So basically you can just tap on it, hit it with a ratchet, and then you're gonna hear kind of like a boing sound, and then you're gonna press the red button on top of it just to make sure it's actuating properly and that's not defective. Now for this case, the problem is the fuel pump is bad, so we have to fix that first and then make sure nothing else got damaged, because the fuel pump got too hot and it melted the nurse's switch wire. I already tested all the wiring on that, but I will show you how to replace this, and we'll get to the video right after this intro. So first thing, what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the filler neck. There's going to be 3 9/32 bolts. So once you take that off, this will be pretty loose. Now you can put a rag in here just to keep any debris from coming in. I'm not going to do that. Alright, so next thing what we're going to go ahead and do. Alright, so we're going to be going ahead and taking off the drive shaft. This will make it easier. You don't have to take it off, but it'll be easier to work with. So this is going to be a 12mm. I'm going to be using a wrench. Make sure it's the star so that this sits right in. And then for the straps, those are going to be 13mm. So we'll go ahead and take those off. And then as you take this off, make sure that the emergency brake is on. And then the way how you're going to jack up the car is by the differential. And then you're going to support it by the drive shaft tubing. So again, every time when you loosen up the bolt, make sure you put on the emergency brake so the wheels don't spin freely. So at this point, when you have the toe straps loosen up, you're just going to bring down the straps on both sides. So I'll just go ahead and show you on this one. So I'm going to pull this guy. And then I'm going to use my knees to be holding, but also I have the toe strap kind of holding it, and then I have a box right under. And then for the other one, I'm just kind of using my Cobalt toolbox, and I'm using that to support that. You can actually use a shopping basket from the store. Also, you want to go ahead and disconnect this connector before dropping the tank fully. So what you'll do is you will push down, but make sure you're holding it. You can pull that back so we don't damage that. And that's at the rear of the tank. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and disconnect this line. So you're going to push this yellow tab right here. So clean that up. But you're not going to push it in all the way. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to push it in partial way. Because if we push it in all the way in, it's basically going to catch the lip of this white pipe. So we want to push it in halfway. Be careful, there might be some fuel pressure inside the system. And just wiggle it back and forth. And then same thing for this one. You're just going to push on this side because that's where the piece is. Or no, it's on the bottom. So wherever there's the white tab. So we'll just go ahead and push. And then you would have a connector going to the fuel pump, but I already disconnected that. But I'll just go ahead and show you if I can find it. So right here would be the connector. It'll just be just like that. This will be kind of hanging on the rail right there. So you just have it just like this. Now you can just disconnect this. Just push down this tab and then pull apart. I just did this so I can test and make sure I was getting power. You should be getting power at the pink black. And then I believe this is like an accessory wire. There should be some voltage in this yellow, the yellow white wire, but definitely you should have your 12.6 voltage, or at least 12 volts in this pink wire. And then for this green one, we're just basically going to push in the tab. We'll use a flathead screwdriver. It's pretty much the same as the other ones. Now we're pretty much ready to loosen up this area. What you want to go ahead and do is clean up before you take it off. I don't have any cleaning tools with me, but you can use a brush. So use a rag or a brush on that part. So now we're basically going to go ahead and take off the fuel pump, the retaining clip. So I'm using the Ford's fuel pump. This is, for some cars it'll be universal, but this is mainly for Ford. I got this from OEM. It's part number is 25156. Now this works out pretty great. So we'll just basically put these in the notches. And then on top of the tool, you're going to go ahead and put your 3/8 ratchet in the center of it, because that's where you can loosen it. Then we'll just hold it pretty tight. Now while holding down, you want to blow, make sure there's no debris going in. Now at this point, you want to make sure that there's no sparks while you're working on this fuel pump too as well. We don't want nothing blowing up. But wiggle the fuel pump back and forth just to get whatever fuel that's in the system. So now we're just going to go ahead and pull out the fuel pump. You just kind of rock it back and forth. And I'll have that rag ready just in case if any gas is leaking all over the place. We don't want it to leak on you. So here's a new O-ring. We'll go ahead and just sit that right in there. And then here's our new fuel pump. Now we're going to start in with the floater first. Now make sure you're not forcing anything. So in the fuel pump, there's going to be 2 notches. There's going to be 1 notch right here and then 1 notch on the opposite side. Now these need to correspond with the notches on the fuel tank so that it sits in right. So what we're going to go ahead and do is try to make sure that the fuel pump is leveled as much as possible. So as you put down this fuel pump, you need to make sure that you push down on both sides of this connector, or of the clamp for the fuel pump. And then obviously this guy's going to be moving around as you're trying to clamp it down, but we need to make sure that it's centered as possible to the other notches, because if not, you're going to have a evap code and then you're going to be smelling a lot of gas. So as it's moving, you want to still try to keep it in the same spot. So now that we got it tightened down, we're pretty much ready to put back on everything. You can take off these blue caps and this one. And then at this point, it's just pretty much going to be reversing the order. So I'm going to be using my knees to lift up so I can clip these guys right back in. The orange one's going to go right here and the green one's going to go right here for the little clips. It's only, you can't mess this up. And then we'll go ahead and connect this guy. I'm going to go ahead and just lift up a little bit, but make sure that you don't drop it too much where it might snap. So keep the front of the tank lifted up. The front of the tank, I'm going to go ahead and tighten down the first strap. So now we got to get the filler neck back in. So what you can do is just reach in from the bottom and just pull right there. And then while holding the filler neck, we can just screw in 2 of the screws. Alright, so we're going to go in the car now at this point. So you're not going to start the car right away. So you're going to put the key on the on position and then just prime it. Cycle it 3 times on and off where all the lights illuminate, and then go back. So basically what we're doing is we're trying to prime up the whole system. And then on the 3rd time we can go ahead and start it. And there you have it. Now I hope this video helped you out. If it did, comment below, give it a thumbs up again, and then hit the subscribe button if you already haven't. And thanks for watching.